The passage of the mining tax has come just before the end of the parliamentary year and the end of what the Labour government has called its year of delivery, which has seen 250 pieces of legislation go through Parliament. Let's go back to political correspondent Greg Jennett now. So, Greg, where is the government going to find this money that got the Greens on board on the mining tax?
Well, Ros, very shortly, soon in fact, we are expecting the Prime Minister to hold a media conference here in Parliament House to explain that. She's about to emerge from her doors into the courtyard, and maybe we should hear the answer from the Prime Minister herself.
Thank you very much. I'm joined this morning by the Deputy Prime Minister and Treasurer, by the Minister for Resources, Energy and Tourism and by the Assistant Treasurer. As a Labor government, when the global financial crisis hit, we were determined to protect Australian jobs. We acted to protect Australian jobs and to keep Australians working. Now, during this phase of our economy's growth, we are determined to share the benefits of the resources boom. Australians are well aware that there is a resources boom underway, with resources prices high, with some of our biggest miners making record profits, with hundreds of billions of dollars of investment in the pipeline. But many Australians have thought to themselves, well, what does this mean for me? These are the mineral assets in our grounds that can only be dug up once. They can only be dug up and sold once. Many Australians have thought, what does this mean for me? As these assets are dug up and sold, what does it mean for my future and for the nation's future? Well, they're very legitimate questions. And last night in this Parliament, those questions were answered when the government delivered its minerals resource rent tax. What this means is a fairer share for Australians right around the nation. What this means is that our super profitable mining companies will pay more tax, and that tax will be used to cut company taxes, to give Australians more superannuation and to build more infrastructure. This is about a fair deal across the nation for Australians from the benefits of the mining boom. It's about ensuring Australians today see that fairness. But it's also about ensuring Australians in the future see that fairness too. Australians recognise that this is a deep and will be a long-lasting boom. But they still want to know what the Australian economy will look like in the days beyond the resources boom. And I want to make sure our nation emerges from this resources boom with a diversified economy that can offer opportunity to all. That's why we are having our super profitable miners pay more tax in order to cut company tax and provide benefits to small businesses to share opportunity around the country as we grow our pool of national savings and give Australians better retirement incomes. This is about sharing the benefits of the boom in the interests of working Australians. I'll turn now to the Treasurer for some remarks and then we'll take some questions.
Thanks very much, Prime Minister. Look, this is a very big win for the Australian people. It's a very big win for 2.7 million small businesses. A very significant tax cut for those small businesses, a $6,500 instant asset write-off will really help with the cash flow of small businesses, particularly those that aren't in the fast lane of the mining boom. And it's a very big win for the Australian workforce, a very big win for 8 million workers, a significant boost to their superannuation over time and a significant boost to the superannuation of some low-paid workers as well.
Treasurer Wayne Swan there talking about the passage of the mining tax earlier this morning. Political correspondent Greg Jennett was sitting listening to that in Canberra. So, Greg, what's your take on what was said?
Well, look, that's the Prime Minister's pitch about a year of delivery and the major benefits, as she would see them, of the MRRT, the Minerals Resource Rent Tax. Now, interestingly, she hasn't yet gone on to explain what it was that she managed to do last night to bring Bob Brown and the Greens back on board. What she had to do was find about $20 million worth of savings to their liking. And what she came came up with is a tax break that had been awarded in the May budget to subsidiaries of foreign banks. Now, it's a fairly obscure measure, this one, but what they're doing is deferring it by 1 year. Now, we can probably presume here that it was to Bob Brown's liking, because foreign companies generally, in his worldview, get something of a free ride from the Australian economy. So I think they really ticked the box for Bob Brown in coming up with this saving. Small in the overall scheme of things, but important to the passage of that legislation.
Greg, thank you.
Thank you.